What's going on, guys? We're back out here on the, I can't believe I'm saying this, Ford. But anyways, if you're new here, welcome. I hope you stick around, hit that subscribe button. Anyways, this week, or this video, we're on the Falcon again. If you've watched the last video, if you haven't, you should, because it goes along with this video. Me and a local friend here that does YouTube as well, we have a little call out challenge, cheap car, whatever you're gonna call it, going on. If you did watch the last video, you heard that, or you seen that transmission gone. I did line up a motor and transmission for this thing. I'm just gonna use the trans and all the other stuff to make that work, because we're gonna convert this thing to a 3-speed floor shift. It is an automatic 2-speed right now, and it's got reverse, slightly got the others, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, my buddy is the one who has the motor transmission. He's not home right now. He's not home today. So we're going to make do with what we can do. Not only do I want to do the transmission this, and we're going to turbo it, I also need it to look better than it does. So I figured we could start out with a little bit of and if you know what I mean, we're going to drop this thing. I have 3-inch drop blocks here. So we're at least going to go a 3-inch in the back. If we need more, I'll go buy more. My biggest issue right now with the back of it is I can't find U-bolts, so we're going to do it the sketchy way, and probably going to buy some threaded rod and make our own U-bolts. I know it's not hardened steel, this, that, and the other. This is inline 6. It makes 88 horsepower. We're putting a turbo on it, and it might make 100 when we're done. The threaded rod will be just fine. But we'll cross that bridge later. I do have the local parts store kind of looking. Hopefully they can find me something. But regardless, I have sprayed down everything in the back in hopes that it will be ready for when we're ready. So first things first, I'm going to jack this thing up. I haven't even looked at the front suspension on this. I'm going to assume that it's the same as like a Mustang 2 or whatever. But let's get this thing jacked up, get the front wheels off of it, and determine what we need to do to lower this thing the right way. Alright, let's get this thing up. Alright, so I was wrong. This is not Mustang 2 suspension. It is garbage. Yeah, anyways, I went ahead and already done the other side. I did go ahead, get it apart, and I cut a coil and a half off of it. I was going to go for 2, but I didn't want to go too far, and we can always take it back apart and take more out later. But I don't know how well you better see it with the light over here, but now the coil used to go all the way to the end, but the end of the coil is actually straight. I'll show you here in a second on the other side, or on this one. For some reason, the end of the coil, well, not for some reason, that's just how they did it. The very last one, see how it's straight right back here, this one? Well, it fits in that bracket. And obviously the rest of the coil is round, so has to be halfway. So hopefully it'll stay on there. We're gonna find out the hard way. If anything, if it start falling off, I'll get the welder out and we'll weld them on. But this side is already starting to look worse than doing the other side. I don't know if you can tell right here, it looks like it's been rubbing and stuff. Well, it's actually a hole back here where that hole is wallered out. So this whole T-bar thing here has been sliding up and down and wallering out the upper A-arm, which is not good. I don't think we're going to fix it. We're just going to run it, but I'm going to take this all apart, cut a coil in half, put it back together, and we'll see how low we get. I'm looking for decently low, but we'll see what we can get out of it. As far as the back, I'm going to put the 3-inch blocks in there. And then if we need more, I'm probably not going to stack them because I'm going to have to make U-bolts. And I only want to make them once. So might come to some other things, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there as well. But let me, I'll set you guys up and see if we can't get this side apart. It looks a little sketchy. Alright, first things first, we're going to get the jack up underneath here to get the weight off of everything. Anyways, we'll jack this up, get the weight off of it, and then we're going to come up top here and separate the shock first. Then we can let it all drop down even farther, and then we'll work on getting those other 2 bolts out of there. So Let's get that off. All right, we're gonna try not to repeat everything we fought on the other side. This nut on the other side, I'm gonna assume it's all the paint that's on here. It got in threads. It made it almost to the top, and then it just decided to didn't want to move anymore. So we're going to clean that up real quick. All right. Then hit it with the. Come on! I sprayed it yesterday, but obviously there was paint all over it, so it probably didn't help it at all. See how this goes. Figured that was gonna happen. The whole whatchamacallit is just spinning. So we got an answer for that as well. Get some of these here vice grips. I just put a dent in the fender. I'm sure you heard that. It's fine. It's all fine. We can reach in here and grab a hold of this. A little tighter. And hopefully it'll come off. There you go. Definitely not. A little tighter. Come on. Oh, too tight. About passed out. Come on. Yeah. Nope. Come on. Okay. Oh, it hasn't even really moved. Let me get some juice to spray on that. Come on. The other side, as soon as I hit the impact, the rubber insulator, which is starting to happen here, as soon as I hit it, it just shot it out the side. It was actually pretty cool. 8. All right. See what we can do now. I'm gonna try to tighten it a little first. Let me poke a hole in my radiator. Dang. Come on. Get on there. Act like somebody. Hey. All right. Now, we let this go. Oh, that was tight. Obviously. Take off the rubber. At least this one somewhat survived. And then if we let the jack down over here, that just disappears. Just like that. All right, get you guys back over here. All right, the next thing I did on the other side was, there's a bolt here and a bolt here, but it is quite the pain to get to them. I had to jack the suspension up, and there's a nut on the bottom, and it swivels, and a whole lot of patience is what goes into getting this apart. So I'm gonna at least get the 2 nuts off the bottom off camera, because I'm probably gonna kick the camera over. I'm gonna be in the way, you won't be able to see nothing, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these 2 bottom nuts off of here, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, those are out. Well, one of them is out. The other one decided to twist off. So that is basically a loaded gun. Pretty sketchy. Yeah, I'm gonna set you guys off to the side, because the last time I had to pry this out of here, it went flying, and I don't want to destroy the camera. So I'm gonna let this jack down after I move you guys, get the pry bar, and if you guys are doing this, basically don't, because that's a loaded gun and it's ready to just come out there at any time. So I'm gonna scoot you guys back, just get a pry bar on it. Okay, hopefully you guys are far enough away. Things could get sketchy. It could either fly out as soon as I let this down, or it might not, because there's one bolt still through it, but here we go. All right, that out of the way. Get this out of the way. Now, we're just gonna stick this in here, and yeah, here goes nothing, I guess. Aha, see? Nice. See, I thought this was a problem. I could kind of see it when the coil spring is around it. This is the thing that the coil thing sits, or the coil spring sits on, and I could hear this while I was driving. These bolts down here are probably not going to tighten up ever, so it's probably just going to get welded. Solve that problem. But I got to figure out get this bolt out of here. I think these are threaded into this. I'm not sure because the other side didn't come out of this either. Or we'll just end up welding that back in there as well. Either way, let's get to cutting this coil. Oh, wow, that's bad. You guys got to see in there. These are just supposed to be holes that are big enough for a 3/8 bolt. That's wow. All right, maybe we will end up welding this back on once we get our height set right, because that could have came apart at any time. The bolts, there's no way the bolts were even helping. I could have just pried that out without even taking the bolts out. Wow. All right, let's cut this coil down. All right, cutting coils. Guess there's not much really dangerous about actually cutting the coil. Just getting it out of the car is a bit dangerous. But we're gonna do a coil and a half. I believe I showed you already, but coil and a half to me means a full loop and then half of another. So that's a whole coil and then halfway around again. If it's not low enough, we'll take it back apart and we'll cut probably another half a coil, and then so on and so forth. And the reason we can get away with this being in the back now is the way the top of the coil is designed. It doesn't matter how it sits up in the top of the coil pocket, strut tower type thing. Anyways, so we're going to go a whole coil on the back, flip it over, and that's where we're going to cut it. Easy as that. So plug your ears. Here I go. Just like that, we got a shortened coil. And then we just put this back in the front where that front pawl is. Slap it all back together, drop her down, see how it looks. All right, as far as this piece here, the coil mount bracket apparatus thing, I can see in here, probably too hard to show you guys, but the threads have completely worn off of these bolts, so they're not going to tighten up anymore. And this shock, as you can obviously see, is trashed. I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not really concerned with it. So the plan to fix this is I'm just going to clean this up and I'll weld around it in spots where I can grind it off later if I ever want to put a new shock on it, which is probably never going to happen, but we'll be able to if we want to. Now, as far as getting this bolt out of here, because I would like to keep this whole thing removable. So what I might try, obviously I need to try to get that out of there. Hold on one second. Maybe we can get it off of there. Put this on here. Oh, easy as that, eh? Okay, so we'll put a bolt in there. And to fix the bolt holes on the control arm there, what I'll do is I'll put a washer in between this bar, I don't know what you would call this, in between this and the control arm, and wherever it lands, I'll weld around the washer. That way it actually gives, that way the bolt can't just pull back out through. I'll get it all set in there and show you guys, but I just tell you what I was going to do. I'm going to weld this first, and then I'll get it all kind of sat back up in there, and then I'll show you what I mean about the bolts. Okay, I've got this sat back up in here on top of the control arm. I did go ahead and weld around this, and that'll be really easy to get apart later on with a cutoff wheel if I ever want to change that. Not gonna happen. Anyways, to fix the control arm itself, as you can see here, I have put a washer in between this bar and the control arm, and obviously I need to take this back apart and clean this up first. But the goal is, let me show you guys this side. The goal is I'm going to clean up this A-arm. I'll tack this washer to the control arm, both sides. And I want to do it this way, that way I know it's lined up with the bolt holes. I'll tack it, and then I'll take this contraption back out of here, and then I'll go ahead and weld fully around both of those washers, and I'll grind the weld down so this thing sits in here normal, and then we'll have our bolt holes back again, and it won't be able to just fall apart. So I'm going to do all that real quick, and then I'll be back. Well, it ain't pretty at all, but to me, that's better than factory, kind of. But we do have our bolt holes back, so now we can actually bolt this in and it not just pop up out of there. So we're winning here. Yeah, now I just need to put it all back together. Then we'll set this thing on the ground and see what she looks like. All right, guys, everything's all back together. Let's see what this thing looks like on the ground. Wait a minute. We got to get a center cap on here. Yep. All right. Now let's check it out. Hopefully, I'm just going to call it now. It's not going to be low enough. But this is with a coil and a half. See where she gets us. Oh, that's lower than I thought it was going to be, for sure. See where she... Oh, it's all falling apart. It's okay. That gave us a lot. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I think we might have nailed it. Let me get you guys a little better view. All right, it's always hard to tell in this little garage. It looks totally different on camera than it does in person. To me, that looks way better. Before, there was probably a good 4 to 5 inch gap above the wheel. I know it's dark in there and you guys can't really see what's going on, but that looks so much better. What do I do? What do I do? Here's the next issue we're going to have. You can see right here is the top of that shock. Well, I guess it can go all the way up in here, can't it? Well, here, I'll bounce it and show you guys what I'm talking about. Well, maybe I won't. It's pretty well locked solid. Wow. That is down there. This thing, you see what's going on here? Anyways, that's not a problem. Maybe I can see if we can find some of those bushings that go on the top of shocks. I don't know, guys. It's pretty low, and we still got to do like a 100-mile challenge with this thing. I don't know. Let me think about it. Either way, I got a family thing to go to, so I got to quit for right now anyway, so might take a picture of it and just stare at it while I'm gone, and I'll decide if I want to go farther or not, but should have took a before measurement. I didn't even think about that. Either way, it is down, I'm going to call it 6 inches, minimum, because this thing was a monster truck. It looked like it was 4-wheel drive, but I'm going to go to this family thing real quick, and then I'll be back, and I'll let you know what I think. Okay, so I've made it back from the family thing, and I think what is best, there's only like maybe 3 inches of travel left in the front down as far as ride. So what I think we're going to do is go ahead and move to the back. I went and picked up while I was out stuff to make new U-bolts, and we're just going to go ahead and put the 3-inch blocks in the rear, and then we'll see where this thing's sitting, see how it's looking. Maybe the back will need to go farther just to match the front. I'm not sure yet. We'll find that out the hard way. So, yeah, let me get this thing up on stands, and then we'll climb underneath here and see what we got to do to start getting it lower. All right, obviously car's on stands and everything, and it's just far enough off the ground to be able to get the weight off the axle. Now, the goal here is the block that I had goes in between the axle and the leaf spring. So I couldn't find any 7/16 U-bolts that were only 2 inches round. You can get them 3-inch, which is what it is out here, but as you can see, it steps down and gets smaller. And I also couldn't find any 7/16 all thread. So we're going to have to upgrade it to 1/2 inch. All we'll have to do is drill a hole in the lower plate here to fit 1/2 inch instead of 7/16, which shouldn't be no big deal. And if anything, we're actually upgrading it. The hardest part is going to be bending this around the axle and getting it all lined up, but I don't see why we can't do that. So these are probably not going to come undone. It's probably going to be a grinder. We'll end up cutting them. It's going to be a good time. You guys just hang out and watch. All right, now we got all that taken apart. Them shocks about took me out. Anyways, now we get to see if we're enough man to pick this rear end up, which, well, maybe. Yeah, we got it. And then we're gonna slide this block in between there, and I can already tell you it kind of looks like this the stud on here is bigger than the hole in this axle, but let's see what we could do. Don't laugh at me. I'm a weakling. If anything, we'll just jack it up. Well, that went on there. I feel like it's pushing it way forward. Either way, let's get the other side under there so it lines up a little better. It wants to sit on there better, whatever you want to call it. Oh, we missed the hole down here, that's why. There we go. Oh, that's gonna work. Just need to work it on there. All right, I'll get the other side on, then we'll talk about making these new U-bolts. Okay, so as far as making the new U-bolts, this is obviously the plate that was under the rear end, and we just cut off the tops of these. Obviously, these are only 7/16, and the all thread that I picked up is a 1/2 inch round, so it's obviously not going to fit in these holes. Obviously, we're going to have to drill these holes out. Not a big deal. Just run a drill through it. But I'm not going to do it here just because my friend has a drill press and he has a set of torches, which I need to invest in both of those. Maybe I will one day. Anyways, we're going to take this, put it in a drill press. We'll drill out all 8 of these holes, and then we'll have be able to put the 1/2 inch all thread in here. I'm probably just going to drill them to a 9/16, so that way we got room. Now, as far as bending the all thread, obviously you can't just bend it cold because it's not going to bend uniform, and it's just going to kink up. So I'll probably clamp this in a vise, and then I'll probably put a tack weld on the all thread, and he's got a set of torches. So we're just going to heat this up, and I'll just bend it right around this 2.5 inch exhaust pipe, which is the same diameter as the axle housing. So yeah, that's a baby. Anyways, that's my plan. One of these days I'll have all the tools I need to actually work on stuff, but I'm gonna run over there quick. We'll bend up 4 of these, drill out 8 holes, and then I'll be right back and show you guys what I come up with. All right. Here we are. I know they are obnoxiously way too long, but they're going to get the job all the way done. Like I said, all I did was drill out the holes to a 9/16, so these fit in here really nice, and then we just bent that around that piece of tubing. Easy as that. I got some nylock nuts for this, some washers. It's going to do just fine. If this little inline 6 breaks, even one of these, I will be extremely impressed, because it's not going to happen. So let's crawl back underneath this thing and get it all back together and see how she sits. All right, I just figured I'd show you guys real quick. This is what it looks like all back together. I still need to get an impact on here and really tighten these down, but I got both sides all back together. I'm going to jack it up, tighten these down the rest of the way, and then I'm going to throw the wheels on this thing, and then we're going to step back and see what this thing really looks like. Well, after beating on the carburetor at least 100 times and taking the bowl off and cleaning it out at least 7 times, I made it out to the spot here to get some decent footage of this thing. It looks so much better, and I can't believe I'm saying that about a Ford, but here we are. Yeah, I'm going to shoot some, whatever you call it, some cool looking shots of this thing. So here it is. All right, guys. it looks way better. I hope you guys enjoyed all that. Like I was saying before, I really wanted to switch to Sunday videos, and that's why I wanted to do this quick, short, little, what do you call it, modification. That way I could get a video out to you guys by Sunday. That way I could switch my schedule up. It's just going to make it easier for me and be able to get better content out to you guys. But I got a new, if you watched the last video, new motor and trans for this. We're not going to use the motor. We are going to put the trans in here. It is a 3-speed with a floor shift, and then we don't have to worry about the old automatic just giving out on us. So that will be coming next Sunday. I'm also going to change my upload time. I think, I haven't completely decided. It'll either still be at 4 o'clock or it'll be at probably 6. I'm not sure. I'll decide that later, and you guys will just find out when you find out. But the future plans for this, obviously we gotta get ready for this challenge, and it's coming up quick. So carburetor definitely needs rebuilt. Maybe the one on the other motor is decent, probably not. That car's been sitting for a while. So we're gonna have to go through the carburetor. We have to do a complete 3-speed swap on this thing, which we got to put pedals in it. We got to cut a hole in the floor, which is easy. All of it. We got to make sure that all the linkages works, the whole 9. So yeah, we got a lot of work cut out for us this week. Maybe we can get it done in a week. I'm going to try my best, because I know that me and Jim are trying to get these challenges started, because this is going to be a blast to do. And we also still have to do the turbo kit. So yeah, you guys just have to go and talk some crap on Jim's channel. I know that he has been dogging me pretty hard, but it's fine, because at the end of the day, I am going to put the time in this thing, and I'm going to do my best to beat him with this Ford. Whether there's a rod coming out the side of it or not, we'll find out together. But yeah, I'm going to give it all it has, and I hope you guys come back to find out. But that is going to do it for this video. You guys have to let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know what you guys want to see for the challenges. I think we're doing a long distance drive, a full week of driving them as our dailies, obviously the drag race, and then there's going to be something that the loser has to do. He was talking like put something on the back window and go up to our local lap night, saying that I was beat by the Biscayne or whatever. But either way, it's going to be a really good time. I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to doing everything. So yeah, I do appreciate you guys watching. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.